Good morning everyone and welcome back. Well, I was going to do today's brief out in the jungle, out the back, but the estate behind me, the old Cornish houses in the estate behind me are being demolished. They've started that, which isn't too bad. You only get the occasional loud clang and bang, but I just set up out in the back garden, out in the jungle, and the next door neighbour gets out his power wash and starts washing his car. So basically there's too much distraction out there, so I thought I'd come into the video suite, for want of a better word, and just give you a fairly quick brief as to where we're going next. So we'll get the picture up of the next adventure. This is the site, Rollright Halt, about a mile outside Great Rollright. Looks rather like an elaborate cricket pavilion from this picture. So we'll put a close-up of it. It's an all wooden construction, GWR of course, with a rather fetching iron pagoda style roof. The line of the station opened in 1906 and didn't last very long. It closed in 1951 to passengers. About 200 yards on the up line from the little station is a little goods siding with a corrugated iron goods shed, a loading ramp and a weighbridge. And from there they used to import coal into the vicinity, and their main export was sugar beet, and when they were in season, pheasants, which must have been a nice little earner for the big shooting estates in the vicinity. So the good side of the line survived until December I should say, 1962. The last trainload of wagons left the siding in November 1962, about a month before it closed, and that was hauled by British Standard Class 2 78001, and I have a picture of that as well. So what are we going there for? Well, we're going to try and have a look at the old station site. I did do a recce about a week ago, and believe me, I have never seen so many brambles and stinging nettles, so that might not happen. If you look to the left of the original picture I put up, that is now a nature reserve. That runs all the way down to the Over Norton to Little Rollright Road, where there was another bridge, but of course that's gone. But having driven a couple of times down the A3400, as I drove over the old railway bridge, I couldn't see any bridge walls, which concerned me a little bit, and I thought, well, have they done away with the bridge completely? Have they filled in the arch? What's happened? Subsequently I did a quick look round on the satellite pictures, and there is indeed a wall on the, let's say, the Little Rollright side of the bridge, but on the Great Rollright side there's a wooden fence. So I thought, well, it's a nice opportunity to walk another section of the old Banbury Cheltenham Direct Railway. It is a nature reserve, as you'll see, so let's enjoy the scenery and let's see if we can find out exactly what's happened to the A3400 road rail bridge. Well, today we're about a mile outside Great Rollright, just approaching the old Banbury and Cheltenham Direct Railway site, and now designated the Pauline Flick Reserve. Okay, we're now looking back towards Chipping Norton at the two buttresses of the bridge in blue engineering brick. And up on the bank is where Pauline Flick lived. Don't know much about Pauline. I do know she was a very enthusiastic railway fan and spent many an hour doing exactly what I'm doing, walking old abandoned railways. So I guess this section of the line is dedicated to her for that reason. Okay, gonna have fun now. The GoPro app has failed, so let's hope we're getting some good pictures. I've just chatted to a lady who actually runs the Pauline Flick Wildlife Sanctuary, call it what you will. For a couple of times recently I've driven down the A3400 over this old railway line and wondered at the lack of bridge walls, and as I feared, and as the lady has just confirmed, the bridge I think is still there, the structure is still there, but they filled in the arch. So this is one of the reasons I came down here to have a look, because I was very suspicious of a bridge apparently with no walls. So we may have a little bit of a problem getting to the bridge, according to the lady. One or two blockages in the way apparently, and some wet ground, but we'll basically enjoy the walk. The sun's shining, the thunderstorms haven't arrived yet, and let's go and see what we can see. I was hoping to get up onto the old Rollright Halt station today, station site, and there's a little bit of a goods siding up there as well, but apparently that particular bit of the railway line, for some reason, has been sold to a scrapyard. There's a scrap dealer somewhere up by the old Rollright Halt site, so the lady advised perhaps to, if I wanted to have a look, to go up to the scrapyard and ask, but she says the site's pretty well covered in brambles and stinging nettles at this time of year, so maybe we'll give that one a miss for now and just carry on along this lovely woodland walk. And a little bit further on now, and it looks as if we're heading into a cutting. Idyllic spot this. Very nice place for a walk. And starting to see a few butterflies. Ooh. And something else. Some very nice orchids. Here we are. Beautiful bunch of common spotted orchids. Absolutely fantastic. Love orchids. Love seeing orchids in the wild. And an absolute picture. And we're going to get increasingly wooded now as we get closer to the main A3400. I can hear the cars already. And the cutting's becoming more pronounced now, all of a sudden. Guess we must be approaching the bridge. There's a chiff-chaff chattering away somewhere up in the trees. This area has been opened up very recently by the looks of things to allow some lighting for the wildflowers. Lots of knapweed on the bank, oxeye daisies, a few brown butterflies, not many. I can imagine it gets pretty warm in here on a nice sunny day, but very tranquil. Hear the birds singing in the trees. Still a bit away from the sound of traffic, and it looks to me as though the actual bridge site is blocked off. We'll go up this bank and have a look, see if we can get along the top of the cutting. I'm walking up the top of the embankment now on the recommendation of the lady. You see the old railway fence on the right there. She seems to think you may be able to get to see the bridge by walking up this field, so I'm walking up this field. Still seeing the old railway fencing in the hedge there, some of it barbed wire, renewed, some of it original, multiple line wires, been there a long time, still standing. Okay, I've managed to climb down into this fairly substantial cutting right next to the A3400, and the bridge is behind that massive earth embankment, completely filled in. Don't know whether the structure's still there or whether they just underfilled the arch and back out and up against the walls, I don't know. But the bridge has completely disappeared. Nice walk though. Well, we couldn't leave the Great Rollright area without putting in a word for Agent Sonia, Ursula Kuksinski, the notorious Russian spy. She moved into Hook Norton during the Second World War with her husband, both Russian GRU agents, and she managed to, using obviously minions, managed to infiltrate Harwell, the Atomic Research Centre at Harwell, and British intelligence that were based in Blenheim Palace during the war. So successful was she that by 1949 she'd been quite instrumental in the Russians' development of their first atomic weapon. Her other claim to fame is she made absolutely wonderful scones. There you go, Agent Sonia. And before we leave, the last remaining pieces of the old road bridge.